the director of the Eurasia Democracy Initiative, is joining us now live from New York. Peter Zalmayev, welcome to our show. So what's the way out? Is there a way to de-escalate the situation?
Well, right now, I think it is a good sign that so far there has been no military confrontation per se. There has been no blood spilled, other than its diplomatic overtures, diplomatic language, such as threat of not going to the summit in Sochi, or to even expelling Russia from the G8. There's very little that the United States and the European Union countries can actually do to Russia. I think right now it is important for the political establishment in Kiev, for the new government, for the new parliament, to understand that it needs to start building bridges with the alienated eastern parts of Ukraine, the predominantly Russian-speaking parts of Ukraine, in order to find a common language, in order to act as a unified front and to send a message to Moscow.
But Peter, how much time do they have to do that very complex process? We see that Russia is building up its forces every single day.
It is building up its forces, but so far it has stayed in the Crimea. And, you know, by way of background, Russia has deep down inside never recognized Ukraine's sovereignty over Crimea, which was given to Ukraine by the former Soviet ruler Khrushchev back in the 1950s as a sort of a gift. The danger is that Russia's next move will be to invade eastern parts of Ukraine, and the Ukrainian Defense Ministry has already said that that will be considered an act of provocation, an act of war. Right now, it is important to freeze the situation where it is, to send a signal to Moscow that the Ukrainian politicians, Ukrainian businessmen do not need help in the form of Russian tanks rumbling down the streets of Ukrainian cities.
But will this economic pressure be enough, and the threat to isolate Russia economically, as compared to the vital interest, geopolitical interest that Russia has in Ukraine, in Crimea?
I do not believe it. In fact, it will be enough. I think Putin is fully ready to swallow the upcoming diplomatic showdown over the G8 summit in Sochi and its very membership. I think this muscle-flexing exercise is designed to appeal to Russia's right-wing elements, to the military. It's once again, it's a show of strength. But I believe that if the West acts in a unified fashion, if the Ukrainian establishment comes together, at least we can help the situation to stop from escalating. But I do believe...
I wanted to ask you, a lot of people have been looking back at the 5-day war that Russia had with another former Soviet republic, Georgia. The facts on the ground there have been established in 2 enclaves, Russian-speaking enclaves, similar to the situation with Crimea, where there's a Russian-speaking population. The facts have been established. There was a ceasefire that was signed, but Russia's troops remained there in violation of that ceasefire. Is this a possible endgame scenario?
This is indeed, I agree with you, a very similar scenario, and I believe that Ukraine may actually have lost the Crimean Peninsula. I believe that the Russian troops are there to stay. There is a puppet government in place, and it is promising to hold a referendum on Crimea's independence on March 30th. We can expect Crimea, if not to be fully under to come under Russian sovereignty, then to become a protectorate of Russia. The rest of Ukraine, I'm holding out hope that Russia's aggression will stop at Crimea's borders.
And a lot of people are holding up hope that this can be resolved. Thank you very much. I've been speaking to Peter Zalmayev, the director of the Eurasia Democracy Initiative, joining us from New York. Thank you for your thoughts.